Hi friends, it's Becky, and I made up my mind when I was unboxing this Golden Hour Shadows box from Potomac Beads that I was going to make an eyeglass chain because we got eyeglass holders. They're these little rubber tubes with a little binder bit here in the middle of it. I decided that I was going to use these to make myself an eyeglass chain, and we got chain in this box, so I'm going to just do some beads on the sides of the eyeglasses right next to where the holders are, and then around the back of the neck we'll just have the chain, because with the eyeglass chains you want your bling up front. You want them to be on the sides closest to here, and then the middle, the back, nobody's looking at that. It's going to be behind your neck. Nobody needs to see it. So I decided I wanted to do some beaded chain for each of these sides. And I pulled out these squashed cubes in this burgundy color, pulled out some of these flowers with the this copper wash, and we're just going to get a few of these linked together and then connected here to these. And I also pulled out these gemstones. These were, which gemstones were these? I can't remember. I don't have the list. It's in the unboxing. I'll link to my unboxing if you really want to know what gemstones they were. So I pulled a few of these off to add to my links. And I've got the chain and the eyeglass. And then I'm going to add some 20 gauge wire. This is the old packaging before they changed the name of their wire. It's now Athena cast wire, but it's still sold by Potomac Beads. And this is the titanium color. In that, it's a great color to go with like stainless steel findings or other things like that. I know this is bright silver, but it's close enough. It is close enough. And for tools, I have the holy trinity of wire working tools. I have my round nose pliers, my chain nose pliers, and my flush cutters. So let's make some links. And I'm just gonna power through this and we'll make these links together because it's not going to take us that long. So I've got this end cut flush already. I'm just going to take my round nose pliers, and right there at the very end, you can't see it poking out really. I'm just going to bend it till it comes around and meets the wire. And I want this loop, I'm making simple loops, to be centered. So I'm going to bend it back the other way after making that loop, and now it's centered instead of tipped over to the side. I like to give my simple loops, especially 20 gauge, a smoosh in my pliers. It helps to work harden them and make it so that they are less likely to deform. And after I've made that little loop, I'm going to push my bead up there and about 1 finger width away from it, I'm going to cut my wire. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my next bead. Make my simple loop, make sure it is centered, give it a smush, 1 finger width down, cut my wire. And after I've got all of these cut, we'll go in and make the second loop. This is a little bit of my process when I am making multiple links at once. I'll do it kind of like assembly line like this, where I do one part this way and one part with another way. You can also do simple loops using a one-step looper. And that can be a faster way of getting this done. I think might do the second side with the one-step loop. No, I'll just keep doing it with these because, you know, I had a drink and it, I didn't do my bead. Let's just measure this. Nah, I'm in the flow. I'm not gonna interrupt it by doing that. I can also just put these beads all on here, and that way it doesn't even matter what order I do it in. That way I don't have to keep putting it down, picking it back up again to do these. And all I was doing there was I was just kind of straightening this out and warming it up with my fingers so that it works better. But yeah, eyeglass chains were not something that I was even in my wheelhouse for things that I would want to create for myself until I started wearing glasses, which was a new development for me last year. But I got some new ones because if you're at all familiar with the way healthcare works in the United States, often in addition to paying your health insurance premiums, you also have co-pays that you're expected to pay whenever you go see the doctor or pay for prescriptions, or sometimes insurance won't cover everything, so you also have to pay money in addition to that. So there's something called a flexible spending account, which is a payroll deduction. So it's your money that gets put into an account that's earmarked directly to be able to pay for medical equipment, tests, doctor's visits, co-pays, things like that. And since eyeglasses are considered medical equipment, you need a prescription for them. You can use your FSA, your flexible spending account money for that. One of the things about this type of account is often if you don't use all of that money that you put into the account, you lose it at the end of the year. So it's your money. You may as well use it. So I had some FSA funds and I wanted some new glasses. So that's what I did, making sure I use it before the end of the year. And there we go. Health insurance companies will nickel and dime you to death. Right, there we go. All right, so now I've got, well, most of my links. I actually forgot that I was going to be putting these little jemmies on here with this. So let me see if I have enough wire for a loop on the other side. It's entirely possible that I might need to do that again. I've got that bent over. And then I'm just going to roll this up until it meets the other side. And twist them so they are parallel. All right. So yes, that is going to be enough wire for that. Let me show you how I do one of these others. I'm going to have it bent this way. I'm just using my finger to bend it over. You can use pliers to bend it if you'd like. And then I want to cut off all except 1 centimeter of length. And I know from experience that if I hold my bead in my finger here, at this point of my finger where it meets my the bottom of my fingernail, that's about 1 centimeter. So I don't have to get out a ruler to measure it. I can just measure it against my finger. It's useful to figure out the measurements that you have on your fingers when you're doing things. So you don't have to keep getting things out like that. So I'm going to just make these links. Let me And this one I was doing a little more carefully because I don't have a lot of excess to cut off with this, because I forgot to add my beads on there when I originally did it. So see, not a lot of excess, but just a little bit, just enough. And adjusting my my loops so they're parallel gives me a chance to do a squish on the other loop. These will be very fall vibey. One more. These are a little more finessing links. It doesn't have a ton of excess to do. So it looks like it was a little bit shorter. That's okay. I just cleaned up the end to make it more flush. And it still works as a link. Let's move these guys out of the way. Right. And I'm doing, again, multiples at the same time. That way I don't have to pick up and put down my tools over and over again. Again, a little insight into how I make multiple links at once. Snipping off my excess. Let's roll this back. All right, so now I've got my links. Let's start putting them together. I'm just going to build each end of my chain by putting a link through one of the loops. On this, I swing it open with my chain nose pliers, and then I swing it closed. And then we'll take my second link in this chain, swing open that link. You want to twist it to the side, not open it wide and close it. So swing it to the side and then swing it closed. And the next link in the chain, actually I like that one there. Okay, that's the one. Add it to the chain, swing it closed. Where are these guys? So this is the part that will be next to my face. It'll be what everyone sees. It'll be what I can see out of the corners of my eye. This beaded chain part. That's one side. Now let's build the other side. Start with that loop. Add a link. Another link. One more loop. And this is the last link. Here. So we've got those, and now I just need to attach some chain to both of these links to figure out, let's see, that's behind my neck, and those are hanging down to about my chin, and I want it to be loose enough that I can move my head around. Then this is about how long I want my chain. I just put that up against my face, and right here at this link, I'm just gonna snip it. Actually, I don't know how strong this chain is, so I'm just gonna grab my memory wire clippers, just in case it is a stronger chain than I'm expecting it to be. Because that will damage the cutters less if I use that one. So now I'm going to use this link right here and attach it to this link in this curb chain. One down there. Put that on there. All right. And now, let's see how they look on my glasses. They're kind of a rose goldy color. That looks really nice, actually. I like the look of that color with that one. Let's put this one on here. I got my glasses at Zenny Optical. These were some of the ones that come with some little magnetic front plate things for sunglasses. So I'll put a link to this style in the description below as well, and for Zenny, if you wanted it. Oh, hey, that's the fun part about it being magnetic. Look at that. I can see I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. But there we go. We have some super quick, super easy eyeglass chains using the Golden Hour Shadows Potomac Beads treasure box. Again, I'll put links to the Potomac beads in the description below, to the wire that I was using, to the bead subscriptions, and I will put a link to where I got these glasses. I hope you're all having a fantastic week, and I will talk with you later. Bye for now.